let's continue on linear equation. We're going to do a couple of other types of examples. So linear equation. Linear means straight line. It also means the exponent of the variable is equal to 1. Equation means with the equal sign. So typical example would be solving linear equation. So let's try a couple of example. Solve. So when they say solve, that automatically means find the x value, right? Find the x value. So let's try 3 over x minus 2 equal 1 over x minus 1 plus 7 over x minus 1 x minus 2. Let's say we have something like this. So at this stage it doesn't particularly looks like linear, but if you simplify this a little bit further, that it will become linear. Again, this is in a way a rational expression form. So whenever that we have a denominator like this, it will be best if we can get rid of all these denominator. Basically we have x minus 2, x minus 1. This is combination of x minus 1 and x minus 2. So what we should do, we should multiply x minus 1, x minus 2 on each and every term. So when we multiply that on both sides, it works as multiplying in each term. So let's see. X minus 1, x minus 2 times, let's check the color, 3 over x minus 2 equal, again we're going to do the same thing, x minus 1, x minus 2 times 1 over x minus 1 plus, again x minus 1, x minus 2 times last term, 7 over x minus 1, x minus 2, like that. Alright, so let's see what cancels out. This cancels out with this. X minus 1 cancels out with this. Both x minus 1, x minus 2 cancels with these two. So let's see what's left behind. What's left behind is x minus 1 times 3. So I'm going to pull the number in front. X minus 1 equal, this is this equal right there. We have, from this we have x minus 2 times 1 was really nothing, plus everything cancels out from here except the 7. Okay, so let's expand. This would be 3x minus 3 equal x minus 2 plus 7. So I'm going to move this to this side, this minus 3 to the other side. So 3x minus x equal, minus 2 plus 7 is 5. If I move this negative 3 to the other side, becomes positive 3. Okay, so this becomes 2x equal 8. Divide both sides by 2, x equal 4, just like that. Well, once you get the answer, you should always check whether this particular answer will make any type of trouble in this original equation. By that I mean we should check the denominator. If x equal 4 was our solution, if we replace that x by 4, any one of those denominator goes to 0. If that's the case, then we'll say no solution. Well, in this case, it looks fine, so we'll take that as our solution, right? Okay, let's try another example. Again, solve. In other words, find the x value that satisfies this equation. So the given equation would be 3x over x minus 1 plus 2 equal 3 over x minus 1. Looks like this. Well, this is a little bit simpler than the previous case. We only have x minus 1 on both sides. So why don't we multiply x minus 1 in every term? So we have x minus 1 there, 3x plus x minus 1 times 2 equal x minus 1, 3 over x minus 1, like that. I mean, technically you can put these in a parentheses like that too. So these cancels, nothing cancels here, and this cancels. So this becomes 3x, right? Just this 3x. Let's multiply these two in, then that becomes 2x minus 2 equal, here everything cancels except this 3. So this combined to be 5x, and if I move this 2 to the other side, that becomes plus 2, 3 plus 2 would be 5. Divide both sides by 5, and we have x equal 1. Okay, so far this is the solution that we have. Now, let's check whether this answer is okay with any one of this original equation, right? Let's check here and here. If we replace this x by 1 here in the same way here, then as you can see, the denominator of these two is going to go 0, which means this is no good, right? This is no good. So our actual solution would be no solution. Because we got this x equal 1, the one that we have is not going to work. So what do we do? Well, no solution. Okay. Now let's do one application type of word problems. I know word problem is favorite type of problem for many of you, but even though this doesn't look too real, too complicated, too sophisticated, we should still try this basic simple form of word problem. So let's try this just one, right? So example. So let me write down the actual question. A total of say 18,000 is invested. some in stock and some in bond. Okay. If the amount invested in bond is half. I don't like that half. Okay. Half that invested in stock. How much is invested in each? Okay, that's the question. So, whenever that we have to deal with this type of word problems, it's always good idea to circle whatever important information that we have. So total of 18,000 is invested, some in stock and some in bond. And we have this clue here. The amount that invested in bond is half that invested in stock. It's half of stock, right? So I think that's the key sentence. Now, we have these two possible options for investment. Some in stock and some in bond. Let's say. Right, S. Okay, we do not know how much that we invested in stock. So let's say we can set this as X. Well, if we invested X dollar in stock when we have total of 18,000, then, well, 18,000 minus X must be invested in bond, right? That's what we know, right? Just by looking at this total is this much, and we have stock and bond options, right? All right. What else do we know? We have this other clue here. If the amount invested in bond is half of stock, so amount invested in bond, which is this, is what? This is half of stock. So we can set up a math equation. 18,000 minus X, which is amount that invested in bond, is half of means what? Is means equal, right? Of means multiplication, basically. So half of what's invested in stock, just like that. So there we have it. So let's move this number to this side. Let's move this X term in this side. So if we move this one here, will be half negative half X negative X equal negative 18,000. It's like that. combine this, this is like negative 1 half x, this is negative 2x over 2, right? Same thing, equal negative 1800. Combine these to be what? We have denominators 2, we have negative 1 and negative 2, so this would be negative 3 to x equal negative 1800. So what do we do now? Well, multiply negative 2/3 on both sides, right? Multiply negative 2/3 on both sides. Let me just put the parentheses here. So in doing so, we can cancel this, even the negative sign, and this negative sign will cancel out, and this 3 will cancel out with this, become what? 6,000. So our final answer, our x, is going to be 6,000 times 2, $12,000. Okay, so that's x. Well, what was x? X was the amount that we invested in stock. So our final answer solution should be stock, we invested 12,000. Bond, 18 minus 12,000. How much would that be? That would be $6,000, right? That's going to be our final answer. Okay.